figure out who's going 2-1, who's going 1-1. One then facing elimination in the next round after, and the other facing potential playoff bracket. Right, they got a best of 5 to go through first.
Two Dallas-based orgs with Jerry Jones and Mark Cuban going head-to-head with Complexity and EnVy. Miss has this one go by. He's going to try to catch up in the play and needed to cut in just a little bit to avoid disrupting the rotation. Now it's Turbo Pulsa. Not a whole lot to work with for EnVy. And it's Complexity with Shad looking for AJG. They have to play the slow game. And this is, look, only 30 seconds gone by. Not the pace I expected here. I thought these players would just be blitzing all over the field. And so far, it's been a slower, more methodical, measured approach from both Complexity and Team EnVy.
No early goals, though. That's a sign of potentially something good to come. A long, intense series. But you know one of these teams is going to want to get there soon.
Right, and with the first minute gone by, you know, the lower scoring this series is, Lee, the more it benefits Complexity by far. They would love to win all of these games, 2-1, 1-0, not let EnVy get rolling, especially a player like Atomic. You know, they're going to struggle to score against Mist. Everybody does. But if they can just keep EnVy in check, they've got far more than just a puncher's chance here in the third round. That's a drive that's just a little bit high from Mist. Turbo shot saved away as well. But the demolition's coming out now from Complexity defensively to try and slow down EnVy, and it has not done that.
Still no goal for them. There was a drive, but Complexity holding on defensively. That's what we wanted to see. We want to make sure that they're not forgetting about that defensive half.
It is Mist now, with AJG coming in from behind to try and disrupt the play. Mist again, just trying to launch Atomic downfield. That's got to be the focal point for EnVy. Get Atomic going. Here's Razebull. No flip reset there. Atomic from the wing. There's no way. He's a decoy, and Mist shot still sent away. Just a little bit off the mark as well. But you can see the creativity there now from Team EnVy as Shad launches. AJG coming in from behind, and Mist sends that out of harm's way. Trying to split the defense was Atomic, and that's good heads-up defense out of Razebull and Complexity. Oh, AJG couldn't get to this. Follow up now, Shad. He's denied, and Razebull at least got Turbo in the air, and this goes well off to the wayside.
And the fact that we're still scoreless is, again, great, because the tensions just get higher and higher the longer we go without a goal.
Bounced away for AJG to try and bring back in Turbo Pulsa around his own back wall for Mist. They've given this one away to Shad, though, and maybe a little fortunate that Complexity didn't do more with that ball. Razebull all the way across. Oh, he whiffed, and the shot goes wide from EnVy. Another golden opportunity served up, but not capitalized on. Oh, what a pass! And Atomic still could not slip by the defense. AJG and Shad in a real tough spot now for Complexity, and they recover.
That's the thing on those drives. You expect EnVy to be able to be persistent and follow through with a goal. You think they come out on top on the scoreboard. But either Complexity is intimidating them. They've lost a bit of a touch here at land.
Out of harm's way yet again with 40 some odd seconds left. This is going to get loose in the middle. AJG initial save. Razebull couldn't play it any further. And what a save by Shad, saving the game. And maybe when all is said and done, the series as we continue on scoreless in game one. Oh, another good pass out. But now Atomic's got to sprint back. So too does Mist. Ball still hurtling towards the EnVy net. And Turbo Pulsa gets it away only briefly. Atomic now with 13 to go. trying to take this himself. Turbo was headhunting, couldn't get anybody. Down to the corner with 7 seconds. Raise Bull can't get to this, so Shad will have to try. Raise Bull couldn't get a bump. This will get cleared away. A scoreless overtime in game 1.
What a great start. We come off game 5 overtime in the series before into an overtime immediately. Scoreless for Complexity and EnVy. As a Complexity fan, you look at this as a great sign. EnVy, you might be scratching your head a bit, thinking this should be a shoo-in. But Complexity showing up to North America and making a statement in the fall split so far. Why would that change here at the fall major?
Trying to win a major with defense. AJG out to the corner. Boost isn't there to steal. And Atomic, at least over Raise Bull temporarily, brought right back in. Complexity have had a huge chunk of offense here. That's great patience out of Raise Bull. AJG comes up as well, and Turbo Pulsa alone at the back. Not very sure-handed this time. Shad, one more touch needed. Drop down into the mid, and now Mist can try to chase it down. It was Mist and Atomic, but neither could break free and go for the demo. It just gets saucered off to the side. Now thrown in front again, and Raise Bull will boom away for AJG. He can follow this play up as well, and it's set away.
Incredible opportunity there on the offense for Complexity. That was a great attempt at a read, but it was pushed just out of his reach from EnVy as they look to maintain control around midfield, but they can't connect with these passes, and that's buying Complexity a lot of time to situate themselves defensively.
Everybody settles down now with 90 seconds plus gone in OT. And a reset for EnVy. Missed 2/3 of a tank. He's got to rush back. Try to play this ball and does so. Brilliant first touch, but Raise Bull comes in. Quick read. You gotta wonder who's going to blink in game 1. How will this affect the series? How will this affect both teams' tournament run? As Raise Bull just watches this sailed away, he's trying to find his spot in the defensive rotation. Sends that out to the side. They are not out of the woods just yet. EnVy just biding their time, waiting to come up. Now they finally do, but Shad beat one. Could not beat a second as Atomic plays that out low. Got the demolition and through the smoke screen. Atomic with a save. This is far down and across the face of the goal harmlessly.
Oh, there's no way. Complexity was hoping so badly that that would bar it in. And it doesn't, but they're still attacking. They're still poking. But I think finally out of boost, they respect these 50s. We've seen them overcommit, and the fact they're not is good. It means they're playing heads up, but they want those goals now that they're on the offense.
The boost right now resembles an hourglass. Complexity has all of it. Raise Bull's shot sent away. Now Shad to the corner. EnVy finally trying to break out of the zone. But look at that. I mean, at one point they had 23 boost. Turbo had all of it. There's the save by Mist at the last moment. Shad can't get a second touch. Turbo is midway downfield. He can finally get this on the blue out of the field, but can't keep possession. And Complexity come right back at EnVy.
I don't know how EnVy has held off for this onslaught for so long. It has just been shot after shot after shot, crossbar after crossbar. They're trying to force EnVy to use as much boost as possible. This is clinical offense from Complexity, but EnVy holds on.
If Complexity tries to maybe roll one in, it might actually go. Mist has gotten up to the crossbar so quickly. Now Shad, right at Turbo. See if he can create anything, any kind of rebound opportunities. Nothing there. Mist. Maybe the first good look for EnVy in the last minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. It's in front, and Shad's got that clear. Trying to stay with Atomic as he's forced back. And Mist will spring Turbo downfield, but he can't get possession cleanly. Raise Bull against Atomic. Fun matchup to watch individually as well. It's AJG, though, in the 5th minute of OT. That's sent away as well. Raise Bull was demolished by Turbo, and that helps significantly as Turbo makes the save. Now can they clear? No, it's a whiff by Mist. That never happened.
Well, it did just here. Thankfully for EnVy, they were able to manage to get the ball out in a shot sent meteorically high. And that gives the possession back to Complexity. EnVy somehow still holding a goal out as we approach 5 minutes of overtime. But Complexity yet to find the back of the net.
One of the longer ones we've had at an RLCS LAN. Far from the longest. It's now Shad. Got around one, but that's it. Turbo Pulsa. Boom downfield. Atomic to finish. AJG beat him to the punch by a mile. Raised Bull. Through contact. Couldn't recover. Shad has Raised Bull sitting on the goal line, but he can't find anybody to hit. Turbo Pulsa gets free to the backboard. And now will be cleared by Mist. Another sigh of relief for EnVy and their fans. But they've got to get some opportunities and at least make Complexity respect their offense. Demolition, and Turbo couldn't get there in time.
Approaching the 6-minute mark now in game 1 of Complexity versus EnVy. EnVy mysteriously holding on from all these shots, and Turbo, when he's needed most, somehow, out of the 3 shots they got on net, Turbo finds the one time Complexity isn't in net.
How fitting that the longest overtime of this major so far ended by Turbo, the native. 1-0 as EnVy and Complexity go 10 minutes, almost 11, without scoring until the 4-time comes through with yet another clutch strike.
What's crazy is that the shots were almost even across the board for these two teams, but it certainly felt, maybe this is just me, Stacks, but it certainly felt like Complexity owned a majority of that game as they just shot after shot, controlled the boost of EnVy, didn't let them breathe. It felt like they were down there the whole time, regardless of there being no goal.
From our friend D-Rect, who has been maybe the best addition to the RLCS
You mean maybe?
this season. Yeah, he is just awesome. Yeah, right, maybe. 5th longest RLCS LAN overtime ever. Longest at this one, 5th overall. What a start. And now after all that, you get a minute. So you go almost 11, just, playing white knuckle Rocket League. And then you get to break for a minute and come back at it here on Forbidden Temple and find a way to break through. If you're Complexity, you got the scoreline you wanted, 1-0. But it went the other way with Turbo winning it at the 5:50 mark.
That's the thing. When Turbo's needed most, he'll show
Finds
up.
a way, man.
Manages to be there.
And oftentimes it defies all logic. He's got Atomic downfield here, and Atomic will score. Sprung downfield by Turbo Pulsa, and the defense couldn't catch up.
This is what we didn't want to see from Complexity. No one home. They left it open. And they did such a good job in game 1 of avoiding that. But here, it showed through, and I told you, a team like EnVy is going to punish that.
Atomic just delaying and forcing Complexity to come downfield, full send. Very early on in game 2, but you do have to wonder when or if panic will set in for the former true neutral. Raised Bull. That'll waterfall down. Mist has it right at Shad. A lot of these clears have been in the general direction of Shad, and sooner or later he is going to break one through the EnVy defense.
If you're Complexity, you certainly hope so. They weren't able to do that in game 1 despite the overwhelming pressure they had. And you gotta hope that that didn't break them, that at the end of the day they didn't win it, regardless of that offense.
Atomic has Turbo to his right, Mist to his left. He opts for Turbo, and why not? His shot, a blistering one, sent away, and it's Shad. Through the air, there's no way. He got this in front at least, but everybody had to retreat back. It was just far, far too close to the net. Now AJG will try again. Hit Shad. Roller goes through. Imagine they don't go high, and this time EnVy doesn't stop them.
Stacks, your prediction comes true. Shad manages to find his way through. Look at that push, though. From I believe, who's on the other end there? They were pushing away that defender to make sure that they couldn't find their way through. Raisbull had the heads-up play of just being a nuisance to make sure that Shad had the ability to shoot that.
It's AJG to try and bring Raisbull. That's not going to work out. He didn't have a lot of boost in the tank. It was all he could do just to slow down that particular play. Raisbull just a blind defensive jump, and it worked out, especially with the demolition. And now Shad ranging back off his own backboard. AJG didn't get it cleanly, but he recovers brilliantly in the air. And Complexity keep this game tied for now. But now it's EnVy applying the pressure. Turbo Polsta tried the double, and that's sent away as well.
Double tap here. Nope, that will be over to Turbo. Tries to take the shot. It did draw defenders, so they got to watch out. Turbo shooting now. And all three players getting involved. No one there. Raisbull looked like he should have been able to get in the way of that. And he drives away. Maybe he thought it was just out of reach. Still, those opening stacks should not exist.
No, not at this level. You cannot get away with that. Turbo and Atomic involved in all the scoring. 100% goal participation for the 3 goals that EnVy scored in what is now a good 15 minutes of gameplay over 2 games. AJG for Raisbull. Just high off the mark and missed. Towards Shad again. This time they baited him in. AJG couldn't go for the corner boost. He's in a real tough spot. And the whole defense comes back to help out. But because they're all back, they cannot launch a counteroffensive downfield. And again, EnVy march into Complexity territory. It was a struggle to get there in game 1. Now they're here in game 2, and Raisbull will score here. What a brilliant counter with the lead block.
Raisbull the patience, and look, a little help from his teammate to take Atomic out, and that rolls just off of his car into the net. Good teamwork for Complexity to tie it up.
And the funny thing about that, he still almost made the save.
It was close. That was a hard situation to be in.
Shad out to the corner. Atomic will look to get that goal back for EnVy, but he burned all of his boost just to land on the corner. Pass to Mist yielded a shot. Very few coming out from Mist in this series so far. Did not yield a goal. Oh, that landed right in Turbo's lap, and he just wasn't ready for it. AJG out for Shad. Atomic instead wins it, and Mist doesn't have a second touch, but it's well enough to slow down Complexity. Final minute now. We had a scoreless overtime in game 1. It's turned into, by that game's standards, a shootout in the encore. And still, nothing separates Complexity and EnVy, at least in regulation thus far. Atomic drop down to Turbo. AJG will not get credit for a shot. There's nothing behind that anyways. Complexity have kind of been hopefully throwing the ball towards the net, and EnVy have been on point, not giving away any excellent rebound chances until now. Shad, after, who was it, Raisbull forced it through. Complexity have a lead.
Raisbull, beautiful setup, excuse me. To Shad. Shad's been there to support. I love the 2-man offense we're starting to see from Complexity. They're starting to work together, keeping it low. Remember, you mentioned maybe that'll work. It has been so far for Complexity. And with the lead and 10 seconds left, they need to kill this clock.
Atomic has this up high, and he had his flip available, but Raisbull did not afford him the time he needed. Raisbull to just down this. He does with the help of Turbo, and Complexity ties the series. It is game on here as we go to game 3.
Complexity, a major change was made. And I'm calling you out as the best analyst right now, Stacks, because everything you said you want to see, it starts happening. They're taking those pot shots early on at the crossbar, trying to get all that boost away from their opponents, from EnVy, while they were in that first game in that overtime. Didn't work. You said keep it low. You also said you wanted to see Shad. Look at that Shad on the offense, and look at them keeping it low. That dribble play, they work together. 2 players on the offense then they did the same thing there. Razebull and Shad, 2 players keeping it low on the offense, and they found their openings. You know, I'm sure EnVy is not going to want to just let that go going into the next game, but there was a solution, and it's a game 1, and that's a start.
Every game, every shot matters so much in this format in general. Now we go to game 3. Minuscule differences, setting aside complexity from EnVy. Shad, downfield, just a little bit wide. Oh, he had that lined up.
He did.
But cleared away. And boy, that is not easy, even for the pros, where you don't really know for sure where that ball is going to come out. Now Turbo, cut off on the near side. Follow-up sent well wide. And this ball thrown across. Another one bouncing in, dismissed by Razebull. Looking ahead now into this 3rd game. How everything now seems to be under a magnifying glass. All the pressure that keeps on building. Things are not going to go your way. Something's going to go horribly wrong for each of these players, and it's on them to adjust to that. The mental game, in particular, going to be on display between both EnVy and Complexity. That's what LAN tests. That's what we were talking about a little bit before the series. And if you're a fan of just competition in general and find it fascinating, like many of us do, this is glorious to watch. Shad, near side, called his own number. Complexity lead again.
And I'm loving the physical play. Since the beginning, we're probably at 3 or 4 demos now at this point, and that's opening up so much space for Complexity. Shad, he's feeling it on offense. Why not keep him there? Razebull and AJG have been running around, just trying to be as physical as possible.
3 unanswered goals out of Complexity. And now AJG just swirling through to get this at Turbo Pulsa. He can clear away over AJG and missed. Could not follow the play. It's Razebull now with plenty of boost in the tank to follow this downfield if he needs to. He will with Shad trailing. And the demolition on Razebull well identified by Turbo.
A little bit of space given at midfield now. Complexity is playing this smart. Look at that 50. The second EnVy tries to move in. Complexity is set up and ready to roll out. You like to see it. They have the lead, but it's not a comfortable one. They will want another one, but you do not want to force it.
Physical play has not been the hallmark of Complexity's offense, but it's on display here. Turbo ran into Razebull. Missed. His shot denied by AJG. Now it's Turbo Pulsa looking to center. Got a little help from Razebull in that regard, but nobody else was available, even despite the 2 demolitions.
What?
Razebull can't recover. Missed scores. Remember, this was all set up by that double demo.
Missed. What a beautiful shot, though, too. Yeah, you see Atomic getting physical in the corner, but bang! I was going 4,000 miles an hour. It was 106 kilometers an hour, but it was still fast. There's no way you're stopping it because the placement was beautiful.
Atomic. Mist was waiting for the ball to come down to him. Turbo misplayed that ball at midfield, and Shad made him pay for it.
Shad the Chad is coming through. He wins against one. He wins against the second. Turbo, you're too slow. The Mans doesn't need a team. And a 2-1 lead now for Complexity.
He has been awesome. 4 goals for Shad alone. That matches Team EnVy's output as a team. Atomic twisting up to the sky. This got away to the absolute wrong person. Shad was there again. And EnVy, lucky he didn't punish them again.
Complexity looks like a different team in Game 3, I gotta be honest. They've opened up so many new routes of attack through physical play, through just pure, solid pressure, to even these solo plays. They've given themselves so many options, and EnVy is going to be forced to answer this.
80 ticks of the clock remain for EnVy to find an equalizer. They won't get it here as Turbo Pulsar couldn't convert. Here goes Shad again, and maybe feeling it a little too much. Tried to go underneath the defense. And Razebull comes away from the pack here. Shad up top, can't direct this on target,
What a
but
pass!
Razebull can!
I am clapping right now. This was beautiful. A big win at the midfield. Shad, instead of taking the shot, draws Turbo out, passes that one back, and it's still an open net there for Raze. 2-goal lead for Complexity. If they can hold on for a minute longer, they'll be sitting at match point against the Machine.
Despite dropping that first game in that long overtime, 5 minutes and 50 seconds, longest of the major so far, Complexity has bounced back. They have battled back with EnVy. They've outscored them 6-3 in the series, but this drops down and missed. Just can't get around on it in time. Defensive-minded Team EnVy needs to muster some offense in the last 30. Else they'll be facing down double match point from Complexity. Shad takes his time, and just that little hesitation allowed him to get one last touch. Throw off the EnVy offense, missed, backflipping. It's Turbo all the way at his own back line, and now they're just going through the motions. Take a victory lap as Complexity are one win away from securing the dub over the mighty Machine Team EnVy.
And over on the mainstream as well, Era holding off against Vitality, staying in the game. So South America, regardless of where the teams are laying, Complexity of course in North America now, are definitely showing that their players can be a worldwide force. EnVy is now facing down the match point held in favor of their opponent's Complexity. Complexity looking like a different team, Stacks. Like I am excited from what I'm seeing coming out from Complexity in this match. You know, we saw the traditional open goal a couple games ago, but that's changed. That's different. The physical play is giving EnVy no time to breathe. I feel like they're getting in their heads right now. EnVy has a massive change to make coming in this next game because they're getting beat to every single ball. They're getting demoed. What do you do, Stacks?
Most of what EnVy's done this whole series is play the ball towards Shad. They've got to have some awareness of where this man is because he has picked them clean. Shad has that one roll back out to Razebull, and he'll just control with AJG waiting behind him. EnVy must win to avoid dropping to 1-2. Same record as the General NRG. Huh. Well then. Atomic for Myth. Big drive needed here. It is one, but it is saved by Shad. He does it all. Offense, defense. If their coach isn't careful, they'll probably coach them too. Razebull got this one through. Threads the needle around the defense. EnVy caught flat-footed, and Complexity scores first again.
That is a common thread we're seeing from last game to this. Multiple times I've seen two players from EnVy rushing back because they only have one defender holding it off, and they're generally not in a good spot to hold it. There we had two, but they were caught on the push back. Complexity great at those counterattacks.
It has been a while since EnVy has led in a game. You go back to the 121 mark, rather 421 mark of game 2 when Atomic scored. That's it. Since then, it has been just about all Complexity. AJG has Shad downfield, but he doesn't have boost. That's a big relief for EnVy. That means somebody else gets to take a turn. And Atomic, bank is open. Oh, just off the mark. And out goes Razebull for AJG. Is it his time? No, it's Razebull up high and popped away by Atomic. So the defensive EnVy keeps them alive here. Not facing the best out of Complexity just yet as they hold a 1-goal lead.
EnVy really needs to get control of Complexity's boost, because with this much boost right now, there's not much they can do, although Mist does find a final opening here as Atomic cranks that one for a beautiful pass.
This has been the extent of the offense out of EnVy. Just quick strikes. Not a whole lot of sustained possession that have led to goals. This will waterfall down. Awkward ball for Atomic, but he read it well enough. Now Shad, beaten out by Mist. Opportunity now for Team EnVy. And Atomic gives them their first lead in what's got to be about 15 minutes.
EnVy, great push up themselves. They recognize Razebull is not ready to defend this one. They got a demo, I believe, too. And that just opened the gates for them. Still 3 minutes left. They can't start celebrating yet. But that is a good turnaround, and it's great for EnVy to be able to find that scoring lane.
Mist was very quiet early in this series, but he has sprung to life. Involved in the defensive effort there, stopping the counterattack. Now Atomic. Bank pass for Mist. This will get away, and Turbo Pulsa has to cut in. Now from the wing, it's Razebull. Point blank save by Atomic. And this goes right towards AJG. He had to be alert with Mist coming on. Now two in the corner. It's Turbo Pulsa up. He's a little slow to it. Shad, this will fall wayward out to the side, but the shot just off the post from Razebull. And now back in it are Complexity, trailing for the first time in a long time. Razebull indirect towards the backboard for himself. What a read by Mist. This Mist is something EnVy needs oh so dearly. His offense, of course, outstanding, but it's his defense that makes him stand out from the rest of North America.
Mist is an all-around player. He knows how to be strong everywhere. So if he's awake and ready to go, that's an EnVy awake and ready to go. Complexity, as you said, now trailing. Generally, being able to play from the lead, have to find an answer. And they got to be careful to not open up that back half of their field when they're on offense again.
AJG burning a lot of boost. Still got some. The flip reset, unsuccessful. Razebull now. Doesn't have a lot in the tank. He also doesn't have Shad on the field. He spawns back opposite ball side after the demo by Turbo. And across this goes from Atomic. More zone time for EnVy. Means less time on defense as Complexity tries to erase this deficit. Does feel like a question of when, but not if. Complexity might get a second goal, though. They have been hovering around the EnVy net. It's AJG, though, way at the back, and they've got to start from square one.
50 seconds left. Time is winding down. I expect we might see a hard Complexity drive that may open the back end, but it could be the pressure they need. Why not? You're at match point and you're down. Send the full house if you can.
Complexity with a game to give. It is not dire straits, but just remember what giving that game means as Shad's shot denied. Now Razebull, he put the brakes on and Mist was having none of it. Champions Field awaits if Complexity can't get another goal here. Razebull was up, Shad went low. AJG's got to spring the counterattack with 5 seconds left. Now Razebull. Last call for Complexity in game 4, and this will just bounce harmlessly to the floor, and EnVy has gotten to Champions Field. Turbo's back home.
Yeah, I think Turbo's also mentioned he doesn't like this field, though, because it means that they're going the distance, and it's a long series, and it comes down to one single win. He usually comes out on top, but he doesn't like it. We'll see how he handles it now as we head down to Champions Field in a few moments. EnVy and Complexity fighting now in a game 5 for that 2-1 record, which then puts them 1 win away from making that playoff bracket.
As time has gone on, yes, Turbo has drifted closer and closer to a 500 record on Champions Field, but when you play there as often as he does, maybe sometimes you just kind of stop to admire the fact that your name is up in the rafters.
Fair.
4 times. Here we go.
That is fair. He's just looking up there. Hey guys, you see that? You remember that? The good old days?
Yeah, well, he can channel some of that energy here. to lead EnVy to a 2-1 record. They have come back from the grave here. It looked like Complexity had all the momentum. EnVy stopped them cold in Game 4. It's Atomic against AJG. Beat him, but did not beat the corner of the goal. That's popped up, though, by Razebull. Might have been better off had he not touched it, as Mist doing all he can to try and drop that ball down unsuccessfully. Now Razebull does have the clear over the oncoming Turbo.
One thing I'd love to see from Complexity again is try to bring that ball low, get that physical play going. It worked out real well for Complexity in the previous game. Before the last there. The Shad says, Leaf, I don't want to hear that. Bringing this one high. Fortunately, no goal. Bring it low. Bring it low. I want to see what you got.
Razebull does bring that to ground and then loses possession. Razebull again, though. Oh, he whiffed on it. AJG might have led him just a little too far. EnVy on the counter. Now Turbo Pulsa sends that to the corner where Mist was rotating through. He's got plenty of boost to set anybody up. Nobody could dive in. And that's an excellent clear out of Complexity. Starting to look a little bit like Game 1, a little bit of a faster pace than that opener. But still the same vibes. Very conservative play. Nobody wants to make that critical mistake.
Yeah. Especially at this point. 3 minutes left. One goal could spell a winner here.
Now there is kind of a saying, playing not to lose is the same as playing not to win.
Fair.
Drop down, and all three on deck there for Complexity. Sent across. And Atomic opted for the shot. Chad won it cleanly, and Mist had to race back. Had it not been for him, this is 1-0. It may still be when all is said and done. But Turbo Pulsar will walk away with this, and that's a huge relief for EnVy. Can they capitalize? Shad got bumped. He ran out of real estate, and now it's Shad over top of Mist, and it's all he can do to just pop that over the bar, and the defense comes in to help out.
Shad has been clinical at making sure that Complexity has any kind of breathing room, because EnVy is beginning to suffocate them and control that midfield. Here's Razebull, though, solo. No finish.
He went for it. He'll flip reset. We've seen it less and less as Razebull has diversified his game significantly. But there, he went to all reliable, and the EnVy defense still up to the task. Now Atomic over towards Mist inside 2 minutes. Game 1 took 10 minutes and 50 seconds. How long will we be here at Champions Field between Complexity and Team EnVy?
At least 1:43 more.
That's a good answer.
Complexity definitely feels like, as you said, are playing not to lose right now, and they've lost a bit of that offense as a result. They're only going for solo plays. When they were scoring, they had 2 people on the ball. They know those solo plays don't work. I'd like to see them get into supporting each other on offense again.
Oh, that is a clean win by AJG. Shad, I believe he got that corner boost away. And now Razebull, another one, flip, reset, vamos!
You know what? If you can do it, you can do it. Ignore me. Razebull sees the opportunity. Turbo was already up. Razebull knows how to flip reset. He just brings it low. He had so many options. Turbo in a hard spot, but Razebull doesn't care. He wants that goal, and he takes it.
Somebody called Jorby. We got another Razebull flip reset goal with 1:09 to go, and it may be the series winner. Razebull coming through again. Got this in a scoring position, but Shad could not breach the defense. And here comes Atomic with the help of Mist. The 4-time trailing him behind them, but now he's got to retreat back. 45 to go. And this gets all the way to the opposite side, courtesy of Turbo, but still deep in EnVy territory. They need to go forward and still can't. Turbo with Atomic downfield. Mist is there now, but a little bit of panic out of EnVy. Mist for Turbo. Nothing there. Just stonewalled by 2 defenders.
That's the thing. Double commit. That means Complexity's anxious. EnVy will be on their final drive now. as they scramble to make sure they can take all of these shots.
Turbo shot towards the far post, still saved away. Atomic for Turbo. Pulsa! Flip reset pass to tie it with 4 to go.
Turbo Pulsa shows up when he is needed. He's got that hometown advantage, and he only uses it when he needs to. 4 seconds left. We're looking like another overtime.
Start the timer in just a moment. They went 5:50 in game 1. And we go to game 5, overtime again. Almost identical to our series between NRG and Endpoint. Here we go. Let's play the overtime game if you're watching along. Who's got the game winner? You have Atomic, Shad, Turbo Pulsa, Razebull, AJG, or does Miss come through? Almost AJG there.
The attack is on for Complexity, though, and they're trying to play high. They know they're comfortable up there. We'll see if a mix-up shows up for Complexity, but EnVy playing from the back foot now.
Complexity trying to regain that edge that got them onto match point in the first place. AJG trying to control. He can't. It's Turbo Pulsa. Launch one at the net, and sometimes those happen to fall, but only for him. Here goes Razebull, though. Got the challenge through. Mist has got to be sure-handed more than ever before, and AJG's challenge turns into a shot addressed by Turbo.
Turbo with the save, but the boost stills are coming through strong for Complexity. It's allowing them to continue this drive over and over, and a shot forced 2 defenders out to save.
Razebull off with a shot himself. AJG might not have been ready to take one. Now he can, with plenty in the tank. And Atomic does well to pop that high over him. Razebull coming on, though, and denied by Atomic. Now it's Shad, who has gone ice cold since he was red hot earlier in the series. Razebull waiting. Boy, that is confidence to be waiting on the doorstep. And this just goes high. The defensive effort again from Miss.
That was super risky on EnVy's half. That ball rolling up high. There could have been anybody jumping in to push that one through. EnVy thinking the Complexity didn't pounce. A shot wide there as Atomic tries to take control of the situation. 2 minutes into overtime, and EnVy finally finds himself on the offensive half.
More often than not in this series, when EnVy scores, nobody sees it coming. It's just a shot from out of nowhere. Razebull, a little wide, nobody dove in. Here goes Atomic. A little bit of interference ahead of him. And now out of the corner. Complexity having a tough time figuring out what EnVy's trying to play at here, but Razebull does clear the zone. And now everybody can reset. Oh, it's Shad forcing Atomic into the air was Razebull, I believe. Shad shot denied, and now it's missed right out for Turbo, and he didn't play that on like he would have liked to.
Hard clear for Complexity. Might open something up, but that roof bounce made it harder for Razebull to read it. So they'll have to sit defensively without really a lot of boost, in all honesty, and this might be EnVy's time to grab that winning goal.
Always a threat as AJG. Not an easy save to make on the near post, but he does. And then Razebull stuffs the shot from Turbo. AJG denies missed centering effort. It is assembly line offense out of EnVy. Likewise, assembly line defense out of Complexity. Another one from the corner, send it back. Another from the corner, send it back. Now it's their turn on offense. Turbo Pulsa's got to get to this. He doesn't, and missed. Bails out EnVy. It's going to be a little wide, and Shad will control as well as he can.
Yeah, it was a little bit wobbly as he made his way through, and I thought that might get punished, but Shad does manage to get himself back in the game. And somehow they hold off, but they didn't have boost on that counterattack previous, and that's why they still don't have offense against EnVy.
AJG out of the corner, easily stopped by Miss. Teams are coming up now on a combined 10 minutes of overtime between games 1 and 5. AJG bounces this one away from the zone goal line, and that gets around Shad from Miss. EnVy have got the message. They're playing away from Shad. That's why he's been so quiet. But now Turbo's got a spring. Atomic, it just couldn't lead him. They race to the corner. AJG took the boost, but Shad was also there. That can slow things down. Razebull unable to play hero as Atomic's got that and a full tank of boost. What can he do with it? His shot on is sent away by Shad. Follow now for Mist on the rebound from the weak side. Nothing there, and Turbo Pulsar can just gently guide this to the corner, but that may spell the end of possession for EnVy, unless Mist has something to say about it.
He does!
Got it in front, and Razebull still saved it.
There's no way that stayed out. Look at the boost on the side of Complexity. They are still struggling. Shad, the only one. He'll need to get this ball out. EnVy doing so good at controlling mid and just poking in for those boosts as Complexity trying to find some sort of way to the other side.
Brilliant little weave move there by Razebull. AJG thought about coming on. Mist and Turbo almost run into each other. And EnVy can't clear the zone. It's bounced away by Atomic. Now Razebull for the win. No, he's got Shad out there, but Razebull takes it himself, and Complexity is 2-1.
5:17, Razebull on the clock. A beautiful angle, relentless. They took so much from Complexity, EnVy. They looked like they would have had this, but Complexity manages to find their way out of their own half, somehow get some boost on the way, and finish it off with a final play. And Complexity takes down EnVy for that 2-1 record in the Swiss stage. Vamos, baby!
That is incredible. And you can catch a glimpse of the boys from Team EnVy in the back right on that last scene. By the way, that one was the 8th longest RLCS LAN overtime. So we had the 5th longest and the 8th longest in that series alone, as the teams play a combined roughly 11 minutes and 7 seconds of overtime. And in the end, Complexity, they split them with EnVy in that series, but they got the one that matters most. They beat Turbo Pulsar on Champions Field, and it's Razebull who comes alive in the latter half of the series and plays hero, just as Relating Wave did for Endpoint.
Hey, I thought it was going to be Shad. Shad was looking so strong.
Yeah,
we saw
he was.
a spark out of EnVy too. I really didn't know which way it was going to go, but if it was going to be Complexity, I thought it would have been Shad. I'm so happy to see Razebull also stepping up on the offensive half there. And honestly, all three players adjusted so well throughout the series. Mistakes, yes, they were made. They happen. They're going to. But the ability to adjust from game to game how you're playing was what I loved to see out of Complexity. That is a team that is going to manage to learn, adapt, and continue to get better as they go forward. This roster has so much potential, and they prove it now by taking down one of NA's best.
Phalius had to be involved in that somewhere, I'm sure. From all of his admin experience with the long OTs in Europe in RLCSX, I'm sure his influence was felt there as, again, Complexity, an epic dub over Team EnVy and Leaf. Yeah. NRG and EnVy are 1-2. G2 is 0-2. This has been a nightmare in Stockholm for North America with FaZe Clan. Really, and now Complexity, the two bright spots. But it has been fun for all of us, because for those of us that love chaos and want to watch the world burn, we are right at home here at the LAN.
It's Shogun's playground, that's for sure.
Yes.
We'll be back for more of this awesome Rocket League in a few moments. Grab your snacks, grab your water, because we have more from the Swiss Abyss coming to your faces here for the Sweden Major after the break.